everyone, how you doing today? I'm Kirsty and welcome to the May TBR where I am going to be taking part in the Medievalathon and forging my way to temper my skills and become the world's greatest blacksmith. The readathon that I'm taking part in for May is by Holly Hart's Books. I've loved Holly Hart's books for about 3 years now. I daren't watch her release videos because every time I do, my bank for some reason gets significantly lighter and my bookcases get significantly heavier. So she's kind of to blame for the amount of debt that I'm in. I'm kidding, she's really not. I'm very good at putting myself into that trouble. And I have the resistance of a gnat when it comes to books. But one of the things that she's done, this will be my second year taking part, it is my third year, is the Medievalathon. The one thing that I love about this readathon is that you don't have to be in teams. So there's not that competitive element, which is fine, but I like readathons where I can just enjoy my books and it's individual to me rather than like being about a team. And I like that you can kind of just build your own destiny and build your own story in this one. And you've got two kind of elements. So the first one is your rank. You start off as a prisoner, so you're in prison, you've not read any books, and the only way that you can get out of prison to start your life is by reading your first book. Once you have read your first book, you are now a peasant, and then you have to read your second book to get up, and then you eventually become like a nobleman, then you can become a knight, then you can read up. If you read 9 or more books, if you read 9 books, you become an emperor or an empress. And then anything after that is basically you're doing it again, but this time it's the companion you have. So you could end up, if you read, say, 14 books, I can't remember the exact rankings, but if you read like 14 books, you would be an empress who has a companion who is a noble. Or if you read 18 books, you'll be an emperor or an empress and your companion will also be. So maybe you're married or you have an alliance, I don't know, it's up to you. So that's just based on the number of books, and then the actual prompts are based around different medieval careers. So last year I did the bakery tract and I had the seamstress as my backup, and I didn't pass the bakery. I only read like 3 books for the whole readathon. I was having a really slow and bad mental health month. This year I've decided, from the intro you may have guessed, but I've decided to go down the blacksmithing route. And I, again, am having the seamstress/tailor route as my backup choice. So I'm going to go through now with my TBR. As always, with any TBR I do, yes, I'm telling you that I want to read these books, but at any moment my brain bees could go, no, we're going to read this instead, and pull me into a completely different direction. So these are kind of just a loose TBR of this is what I would like to do, but I am a huge mood reader, so it could vary. And yeah, for the career we have 5 levels and I'm just going to go through them. I can't really remember the rankings. I've just written in my in my notepad, I've just written level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we have for level 1, so I think this is just apprentice, like you're just starting out. At this point, you barely know how to heat the metal, let alone what to do with that metal once it's been heated. And the prompt for that is to read a book that has gold, silver, or bronze either in the title or on the cover. This one I thought was going to be super easy. Turns out on my entire TBR, I own 1 book that has the word gold, silver, or bronze in the title. And my brain has just gone blank because it's not the book that I ended up choosing. Oh, This Golden Flame. That is the only book that I own that has that title. And I was like, well, I'm not really in the mood for that one. So instead, I remembered one of my most anticipated reads for the year comes out in May, and that is Glow by Raven Kennedy. And this book and all of this series is just pure gold, and it's all about gold, and you know, gold is the primary colour. So I have picked Glow. And I've picked that as my first entry, which I probably shouldn't have done because I think you are supposed to try and read these in order. But Glow, I think, doesn't come out until like the 15th. And I might even have to double check, because no, my luck, the date's been changed. But at the moment, it's Glow by Raven Kennedy. Level 2, so, you know, we've learned how to heat the metal now. We're probably learning basic tips on how to make like nails and very small metal pieces. So, you know, I'll be feeling a little bit scared about this, because this isn't just heating metal, this is where things could go a little bit wrong. So it's to read a book that I'm scared to read. And I did originally pick another book, but then I was like, actually, I'm not feeling it right now. And so I am scared to read this book because I've owned it for 3 years. I've still not picked it up, and I know it's got a very love-hate community, and that is The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. I've been assured by multiple people who know my reading tastes well that I will love this. Just apparently I will love this one. So I'm scared to read it because one of my best friends has told me she knows I will love it, and I'm kind of scared of that. So that will be my read for that one. Now that we've learned how to make things like iron nails and locks and hinges, it's time to start working on some very basic weapons. So we're looking at daggers, arrowheads, things like that. So the prompt for this one will be, for level 3, will be to read a book with a weapon on the cover. For this, I am choosing the audiobook of Saint's Blood by Sebastian de Castell. I listened to the first book in January, I listened to the second book in March, and I am desperate to get to the third book. So I will be getting on with that so that so that in June I can try and finish that series. And this one obviously has a weapon on the cover. And then now, obviously, I've really worked hard. I now have the skills to start making really good weapons. So I'm now at level 4. I can make great swords, I can make really good swords, I can make all sorts of things. Axes, shields, you name it, I can make it. They might not be incredible, but they are very good quality, and I've started to make a pretty good name for myself, and people might actually start seeking me out for my products. So, you know, I'm getting a really good reputation, and my weapons are known to be really strong, really sturdy, and so because of that, I now need to read a hardcover. And I've chosen The Bright and the Pale by Jessica Rubinkowski, because it's been on my TBR I think twice this year, and I will be doing a video soon where I'm taking inspiration from Rebecca Fowler, where I'm going to be doing a self-destruct book challenge thing. And essentially I've told myself that if this has not been read by the end of this year, it's going to be sold and donated. So it needs to be read because it's been on my TBR too many times. And then I've now really worked hard. I might have been in my trade for years by this point. I'm known far and wide throughout the lands. My skill is beyond compare. I am known for my excellent craftsmanship. Kings and queens and emperors and empresses alike fight each other just to get their hands on my weapons that have been crafted. And so because I am myself in my finale, it is time for me to read a series finale. For this, I am choosing A Vow So Bold and Deadly, that I think it was either in January or February that I started, but I only got about 30 pages in, and then I kind of ran out of time, and I've just not really felt the urge to pick it up because I've been enjoying it, but it's not been my favourite series. But I figure it's time to get this one finished. It is so pretty though, I will give it that. It's a gorgeous cover. So those are the 5 books that I am pretty much set on getting so I can get my blacksmith trade, but like I said, might vary. And then I will be very quick, I'm not going to go into as much detail on each of these, but I will go through the different levels for the seamstress path, because if I have a good reading month like I've been doing at the moment, I'm reading about between 8 and 11 books a month, so I've actually been really smashing it so far this year. So say I read 8 books, that's still going to be more books than is on the list. So, and I do have a few arcs and things that I want to get to that aren't in the readathon, but you know, they are going to be soon. The first level is to read a book that you're unsure about. And for that, I'm reading Red Rising by Pierce Brown, because I'm not sure I'm going to like it, because it's sci-fi. This is probably going to be like the most sci-fi thing that I've read so far, and I'm really not sure if I'm going to like it, so very unsure about this one. We next then have a first in a series, and I will be reading the Knave of Secrets, which is an arc that I was sent that needs to be read before the end of the month, and that will be my choice for that, and that's by Alex Livingston. For level 3, I have to read a book that has either embossing or a foiled cover. So I've tried to throw in a few short books for this one. So I've got The Alchemist, which is like only not even 200 pages, it's only 150 pages. So I'm throwing that one in because I want to try and have a couple of quick reads, as I've been trying to do every month, and I've got no graphic novels in this month. So quick read number 1. Then for level 4, it's to read The Last Book Bought. Now I do have some books that are on their way that I haven't yet announced, but because they're not logged on my Goodreads shelf just yet, I'm going to read The Cat's Miscellany instead. So this has just got lots of random little bits in, and again is only 125 pages. So, and it's got lots of pictures and things in, so that would be very quick. And then the final one for the seamstress, so level 5, obviously by this point, if I were a real seamstress, I would have like gemstones and the most elaborate embroidery, and my clothing would be the best in the world. So I have to read the prettiest book that I own, and for that I've chosen Daughter of the Moon Goddess, the Fairy Loot edition, because this thing is absolutely the most stunning book I think we've ever had from Fairy Loot, if I'm honest. And we've had some absolutely gorgeous books that have had me in tears because they've been so beautiful. But this one just absolutely blew me away, and I've almost been too scared to read it because it is so pretty. And of course I've decided a chunker to finish the month on, because why not? That's just me. So that is my tentative reading list for May. Let me know in the comments, are you planning on reading any of the same books? Maybe we can do a bit of a buddy up. And if you've read any of these in the past, let me know in the comments what you thought about them, but obviously leave it spoiler free. Are you taking part in this readathon? If not, then have a look at it if you haven't decided if you're taking part, or if you've never heard of it before. I'll link it below and you can always check it out, and I hope to see you join. It would be amazing to have more people doing it. And thank you, Holly, for creating it. This is one of my favourite ones in the year. I look forward to it every year, and I can't wait to start my journey to become a blacksmith. I hope you're good. I hope you're all staying safe, and until next time,